Very good evening. I'm Aishwarya with you. Let us start the news bulletin with the headlines. Welcome relief for affected home buyers. Union Cabinet approves move to revive over 1,600 projects covering 4.58 lakh housing units. Centre to put 10,000 crore rupees in real estate market. LIC and SBI to contribute 15,000 crore rupees. Supreme Court cracks whip on pollution in Delhi, pulls up Chief Secretaries of Punjab and Delhi for inaction, directs Haryana, Punjab, Uttar Pradesh and Delhi to pay 100 rupees a quintal to small and marginal farmers who haven't burned stubble. PM tells Agriculture Ministry to distribute on priority machines to farmers to process the stubble. Centre moves to check rising onion prices. The Union Minister Vilas Paswan says that besides offloading buffer stocks at 24.9 rupees a kilo, the government has banned exports of raw and processed onions, imposed stock holding limits on traders. Government formation moves pace in Maharashtra. State BJP leaders indicate that party delegation will meet governor on Thursday. NCP's Sharad Pawar asserts that his party is not in the race, has mandate only to sit in the opposition. And stock market starts record heights. BSE Sensex rises 222 points to close at 40,470 points. Nifty reaches 11,966 points. The government on Wednesday approved setting up of 25,000 rupees crore bailout fund to finance 1,600 stalled housing projects. The decision was approved by the Union Cabinet at a meeting held under the chairmanship of Prime Minister Narendra Modi. And announcing the decision, Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman said that the government will put in 10,000 crore rupees in this alternative investment fund. She added that the SBI and LIC would also be providing 15,000 crore rupees, taking the total size to 25,000 crore rupees. Now, this will finance 1,600 stalled housing projects comprising 4.58 lakh housing units across the country.
Is a special window which is to be structured as an alternative investment fund, as an AIS, which will pool all these investments. Government gives 10,000 crores. We've already spoken with, say, institutions like the SBI, LIC and so on, who together will also put in money, which I think will touch 25,000 crores. SBI and LIC, we've spoken, and others also will join in. But this will be kept open. There are a lot of sovereign funds also who have expressed interest to come into it. Gradually, we'll keep adding to the AIF corpus.
The Finance Minister further said that RE-RA registered incomplete projects will be funded till the finishing stage through an ESCO fund. She added that the projects declared NPA or those not declared liquidation worthy by the NCLT will also benefit from this initiative.
रेरा में रजिस्टर्ड जो भी इनकम्प्लीट प्रोजेक्ट्स हैं, उनको एक प्रोफेशनल अप्रोच के तहत नेट वर्थ पॉजिटिव जिनका है, मतलब कुछ I have sold some flats, I have many more to sell, I have assets, ऐसे नेट वर्थ उनका असेसमेंट करने के बाद those projects will get funded for the last finishing stage tak. 70% complete, 30% incomplete, For completing the 30% incomplete, this money will go to the escrow, not as a lump sum at one go. One stage tak, you need this much, you take that much. That is complete, you take some more. Third stage, you need some more, you take like that. In stages, up to the stage that they complete, we give the money. So that once the handover happens, the home buyer takes it and he is now no longer got to worry about his project complete hoga ki nahi hoga. Agar ye NPA bhi ho, this project has already been declared an NPA, even then they can benefit from this.
And Prime Minister Narendra Modi on Wednesday chaired the 31st interaction through Pragati. The Prime Minister was informed about the progress in National Agriculture Market Platform, which has helped in a better price discovery. He directed that based on e-models of demand aggregation, Transport and Agriculture Ministry should work together on a new startup model of logistics support, particularly with regard to transfer of agricultural products from one state to another. He added that all the states must come together and use a common integrated platform for smooth operation. And on the issue of stubble burning, Prime Minister directed Agriculture Ministry to give priority to the farmers of the states of Uttar Pradesh, Punjab and Haryana in distribution of equipment to prevent such occurrences. The Pragati meeting witnessed a review of 9 projects worth over 61,000 crore rupees related to 16 states and the Union territories of Jammu and Kashmir as well. And now an update on the pollution situation in Delhi NCR, and the Supreme Court today came down heavily on the states of Punjab and Haryana for their failure to implement an action plan to curb stubble burning. A 2-judge bench of the Supreme Court hearing petitions regarding air pollution in Delhi on Wednesday gave the authorities 7 days to formulate a plan to buy crop from cultivators. It directed Punjab, Haryana, Uttar Pradesh to give incentives, subsidized machineries for the farmers for the same. The Apex Court bench, comprising Justices Arun Mishra and Deepak Gupta, criticized the Punjab Chief Secretary for passing the buck to the centre and said that it was a question of life and death for crores of people in Delhi NCR. The bench also questioned the Chief Secretary of Haryana over stubble burning. The bench said that the authorities have to be held responsible for their failure to curb stubble burning, adding that if they are not concerned with the public, they have no right to be in power. On to some other news now. Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu on Wednesday called upon the people, including political leaders, to follow the teachings of Guru Nanak Dev. He was addressing a special session of the Punjab Assembly organized to commemorate the 550th birth anniversary of Guru Nanak Dev at Chandigarh. The Vice President said that Guru Nanak Dev was a great champion of equality, and for him, the differences and multiple identities based on caste, creed, religion and language were irrelevant.
Guru Nanak Ji was a great champion of equality. For him, the difference between multiple identities based on caste, creed, religion and language were irrelevant. He said, quote, "Preposterous is caste. Weighing the distinction of birth, the Lord gives shelter to all human beings," unquote. He aimed at creating a casteless society in which there is no hierarchy, in which all are equal and where one member does not exploit the other. Nanak Uttam Neech Na Koe. Respect for woman and gender equality is another important lesson to be learned from Sri Guru Nanak Dev Ji's life.
The Vice President stressed that the world needs such spiritual leaders who can engage in a meaningful dialogue to exchange ideas in order to promote peace, stability and cooperation. He complimented the Punjab Assembly and the Punjab Chief Minister for conducting a special session.
The world needs such spiritual leaders who can engage in a meaningful dialogue to exchange ideas in order to promote peace, stability and cooperation. Guru Nanak Ji's vision was pragmatic and holistic. I am happy that the government has taken a number of initiatives to commemorate the 550th birth anniversary of Guru Nanak Dev Ji, both at the central level and also at state level. The entire country is celebrating this.
Former Prime Minister Dr. Manmohan Singh also attended the session.
पाँच सौ साल पहला गुरु नानक जी ने परमात्मा धर्म जीवन ते सच्चाई जे निरंतर सवालों ਨੂੰ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਇੱਕ ਨਿਵੇਕਲੇ ਜੀਵਨ ਦ੍ਰਿਸ਼ਟੀਕੋਣ ਦੀ ਨੀਂਹ ਰੱਖੀ। ਆਪਣੀ ਪਵਿੱਤਰ ਬਾਣੀ ਵਿੱਚ ਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਨੇ ਪਰਮਾਤਮਾ ਦੇ ਸਰੂਪ ਅਤੇ ਸੁੱਚੀ ਜੀਵਨ ਜਾਂਚ ਦੀ ਚਰਚਾ ਕੀਤੀ।
Punjab Governor, Haryana Governor, Speaker of the Legislative Assembly of Punjab, Chief Minister of Haryana Manohar Lal Khattar, among others, were present at the special session. And Home Minister Amit Shah on Wednesday said that Prime Minister Narendra Modi has realized the long-cherished dreams of millions by working to get the Kartarpur Sahib corridor open for Indian pilgrims. He said this in a tweet while sharing a video on the new corridor. The video, a precursor to 9th of November grand event, takes the viewers through the amenities designed to help pilgrims visiting Kartarpur Sahib Gurudwara.
से मानो सरहदें पिघला दी। इतिहास में पहली बार भारतवासियों के लिए समर्पित है डेरा बाबा नानक से करतारपुर साहिब तक का करतारपुर कॉरिडोर। 4.190 किलोमीटर लंबे करतारपुर हाईवे और आधुनिक सुविधाओं से सज्जित इस पैसेंजर टर्मिनल के साथ अब हम बिना वीजा के करतारपुर साहिब तक पहुंच सकते हैं। इतना ही नहीं, गुरु नानक देव के ज्ञान प्राप्ति स्थान सुल्तानपुर लोधी को भी हेरिटेज टाउन के रूप में किया गया है विकसित। भारतीय रेलवे ने रेलवे स्टेशन को तो अपग्रेड किया ही है, साथ ही गुरु नानक जी के इस 550वें प्रकाश पर्व के अवसर पर यात्रियों को सुल्तानपुर लोधी पहुंचाने के लिए देश भर में स्पेशल ट्रेनें चलाई जा रही हैं। तो आइए इस 550वें प्रकाश पर्व को ऐतिहासिक उत्साह के साथ मनाते हैं। बोलो जी वाहे गुरु।
And Food and Consumer Affairs Minister Vilas Paswan on Wednesday reviewed the prices and the availability of onions across the country. He held a review meeting with the Consumer Affairs and Food Secretary and other senior officials, during which several steps taken by the government to curb price rise, along with the reasons for the increase in prices, were discussed. The minister added that onion prices have shot up to 80 rupees a kilogram in the retail market due to 30 to 40% decline in domestic production, and that the government is taking all steps to contain the price rise. Paswan said that the government is making efforts to facilitate imports through private trade from Afghanistan, Egypt, Turkey and Iran. The Agriculture Ministry has also been taking steps, and it has been asked to liberalize import norms.
इसका तो मेन कारण ये है कि एक तो मौसम जो है बहुत लेट से आया, उसके कारण से बुआई लेट से हुई और उसमें आवागमन में देरी हुई। मुख्य कारण है कि जो डिमांड और सप्लाई होता है कि मांग कितनी है, आपूर्ति कितनी है, वो दोनों में काफ़ी अंतर है। 30 से 40% जो है इस बार जैसा प्रोडक्शन के तो उत्पादन कम हुआ है। हमने अपने विदेश मंत्रालय से कहा है कि इजिप्ट है, अफगानिस्तान है, टर्की है, ईरान है, ये जो चारों कंट्रीज हैं, यहाँ से क्या कहते हैं कि वो बात करें वहाँ की सरकार से।
On to some political news now. NCP President Sharad Pawar on Wednesday asked the ruling BJP and Shiv Sena to form government in Maharashtra. He also asserted that his party and its ally Congress will work as a responsible opposition. Addressing a press conference in Mumbai after meeting senior Shiv Sena leader and Rajya Sabha MP Sanjay Raut, Pawar ruled out joining the Uddhav Thackeray-led party in government with the outside support of the Congress. He further said that BJP and Shiv Sena have been in alliance for 25 years and that they should come together to form government in Maharashtra.
No, where is the question? Where is the question? You see, Sena and BJP has an alliance for the last 25 years. So we are confident that they will today, tomorrow, day after tomorrow, they will come together. Now, I don't see any other objection. Option is only one. And that option is BJP Sena should form government as early as possible, and they should remove this stigma.
And the BJP has welcomed NCP President Sharad Pawar's statement that his party would sit in the opposition. State BJP leaders indicated that the party delegation will meet Governor on Thursday. A resolution to the BJP Shiv Sena stalemate over government formation in the state is expected, and a new dispensation may take office before the term of the ongoing assembly ends on 9th of November.
पहले दिन से कह रहा हूं, पानी को कितना भी उसका विभाजन करने की कोशिश करो, हम साथ में हैं। आज जब किसान की समस्या के बारे में चर्चा शुरू हुई तो शिवसेना भाजपा के साथ और भाजपा शिवसेना के साथ इस सह्याद्री में नजर आई है। तो मुझे लगता है कि हमने निश्चित रूप से आने वाले अच्छी खबर का इंतजार करना चाहिए।
Defence Minister Rajnath Singh on Wednesday met with his Russian counterpart, General Sergei Shoigu, in Moscow. And during the meet, the two leaders held discussions about reconfirming special nature of India-Russia strategic partnership. The Defence Minister said that India and Russia are bound by strong friendly relations. Both the countries are strengthening military cooperation by expanding communications between the general staffs and the armed forces, joint military exercises and educational exchanges. Rajnath Singh also presented General Sergei a bowl mounted on a triangular base with 3 Indian Army soldiers in a ceremonial rifle. On to the other top story that we are tracking this evening. The BSE Sensex resumed its record-setting run on Wednesday, rallying 222 points to its new lifetime high of 40,470, led by gains in HDFC Bank, ICICI Bank, Infosys, Kotak Mahindra Bank and Axis Bank. The Sensex ended 222 points or 0.55% higher at 40,470. And the Nifty 50 index rose 49 points or 0.41% to shut shop at 11,966. Meanwhile, the Indian rupee depreciated by 28 paise to 70.97 against the US dollar intraday. The Supreme Court on Wednesday said that the resolution process of JP Infratech Limited should be completed within 90 days, and it also barred parent JP Associates Limited for bidding for the Noida-based real estate developer. The Apex Court directed that only state-owned blue-chip company NBCC India Limited and Suraksha Realty Limited can bid for JP Infratech. The court also lifted its stay on proceedings against JP Group under Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code. Remember, JP Infratech was part of the list of 12 large defaulting corporate accounts identified by the Reserve Bank of India in June 2017 for immediate insolvency action. However, after a plea filed by home buyers, the court had ruled in their favor, allowing home buyers to participate as financial creditors and directing the insolvency process to start afresh. The Supreme Court, however, today clarified that no pending case in any court shall serve as an impediment to the NCLAT-led resolution process. Weather updates now, and cyclone Maha is approaching Gujarat coast with strong intensity. However, it is likely to weaken before it reaches the Gujarat coast on Thursday. After moving north-westwards for a few days and then intensifying into an extremely severe cyclonic storm, Maha recurved eastwards on Tuesday. Weakening into a severe cyclonic storm, Maha now lies 450 kilometers from Porbandar in Gujarat. The Weather Department has predicted moderate rainfall at many places with heavy to very heavy rainfall at isolated places over parts of Saurashtra and Gujarat region. And in Maharashtra, the North Konkan region, including Mumbai and Thane, will receive rainfall along with some other northern areas. As a precautionary measure, schools and colleges in Maharashtra will remain closed from 6th to 8th of November. The Navy said on Tuesday that its Western Command has prepared for humanitarian and disaster relief operations along the Gujarat and North Maharashtra coast, and 4 warships of the Western Naval Command have been loaded with materials like food packets, water, medical supplies and other essential commodities.
अभी ये सीवियर साइक्लोनिक स्टॉर्म है वहाँ अभी जो लोकेटेड है ईस्ट सेंट्रल अरेबियन सी एंड एडजॉइनिंग नॉर्थ ईस्ट अरेबियन सी अभी ये और भी वीकनिंग हो जाएगा. हम ग्रेजुअली यही लाइन बोल रहा है कि ये बहुत ज़्यादा वीकनिंग हो जाएगा. उसके बाद इसका जो है ईस्ट नॉर्थ ईस्टवर्ड मूवमेंट होगा एंड कल अर्ली मॉर्निंग तक 7th अर्ली मॉर्निंग तक डीप डिप्रेशन हो जाएगा. सबसे बड़ी बात यह है कि सौराष्ट्र कोस्ट को हिट नहीं करेगा, इसको अवॉइड कर जाएगा. It will scar Saurashtra coast. So Saurashtra coast को ये hit नहीं करेगा.
News from Uttar Pradesh now, where encephalitis cases in the state have seen a sharp dip post the immunization and cleanliness drive launched by the government in 2017. In 2017, encephalitis took 748 lives. The death toll dropped to 278 in 2018, and up to 31st of August this year, only 38 children had died of the disease. Over 4 million children were vaccinated against Japanese encephalitis between January and March this year, while 3.5 million kids were vaccinated last year. More than 100 encephalitis treatment centers and pediatrics intensive care units have been set up close to villages, while more than 1 lakh doctors and paramedics were given special training to treat encephalitis patients. Also, garbage disposal has been taken up by local elected bodies along with the building of toilets to stop open defecation. And now our special segment on environment and climate change. A global group of around 11,000 scientists from 153 countries have declared a climate emergency. Their research, based on 40 years of data on a range of measures, says that governments across the world have failed to address the crises. The inability to act or respond to the impacts of the climate change by reducing carbon emissions, reducing the livestock production, reducing land clearing and fossil fuel consumption, they have said, has led to this emergency. They say that some progress has been made in some areas. For example, renewable energy has grown significantly, with the consumption of wind and solar energy increasing by 373% per decade. But it was still 28 times smaller than the fossil fuel usage in 2018. With governments adopting new policies, school children going for strikes and lawsuits proceeding, and grassroots citizen movements demanding change. However, there is still a ray of hope to avert this crisis. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will inaugurate a 2-day global investors meet at Dharamshala in Himachal Pradesh on Thursday. Himachal Pradesh government is organizing the event to attract investment and create employment opportunities in the state. Meanwhile, all arrangements have been made to make this maiden mega event successful. Chief Minister Jairam Thakur reviewed the preparedness of global investors meet. As many as the 209 foreign delegates along with local entrepreneurs are expected to attend the mega event. Ambassadors from 16 countries are also participating in the meet. Home Minister Amit Shah, Transport Minister Nitin Gadkari, Railways and Commerce Minister Piyush Goyal, among others, would participate in the meet. The 13th India Energy Summit is being held in Delhi starting Wednesday. The 2-day event focuses on discussions about technology and innovation for the energy sector. sessions on technical aspects of India's energy sector and the importance of global collaborations in the sector. The event was attended by senior government officials, policy makers and international experts and industry leaders who held talks and shared their views on various aspects of energy problem in the country. Also, in the view of the problem arising due to climate change and increasing pollution, there was a discussion on increasing use of electric vehicles and installing more charging stations. The Jammu and Kashmir administration has invited experts to identify potential locations for adventure sports to promote tourism. The travel and tourism industry has welcomed the centre's move to bifurcate Jammu and Kashmir and Ladakh and to make the two regions separate union territories. Here is a report. With the onset of winter, picturesque Jammu and Kashmir is open for tourists, both domestic and international. The Jammu and Kashmir administration is gearing up for what will be the first tourism season after Article 370 was scrapped and the state was made a union territory. The administration is also renewing efforts to secure a spot for the celebrated Kashmir Gardens in the UNESCO World Heritage Sites list.
Tourism is one of the key sectors of the state. We have all kinds of tourism. We have religious tourism, we have adventure tourism, we have a number of heritage places, and tourism has been traditionally strong in all three regions, in Jammu, in Kashmir and Ladakh. We are hopeful that we will get much more investment. We are also trying to ensure that we pump in more public investment.
While Kashmir has the potential to become a prominent tourist destination in Asia, Article 370 and 35A had been seen as the barriers to this.
जो भी यहाँ पे आना चाहते हैं बिल्कुल सेफ है कश्मीर, कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है, आप आराम से आ सकते हो और अपना टूर कर सकते हो आराम से, कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं, बिल्कुल सेफ है, आप आ सकते हो यहाँ पे.
The Modi government took the historic decision of revoking Article 370 of the Constitution that granted special status to Jammu and Kashmir. The landmark decision meant there would be no separate constitution for Jammu and Kashmir. The concept of permanent residence has also been ended, which means that restrictions on citizens who reside outside J&K with regard to employment, acquisition of immovable property, settlement and scholarships and other aid are no longer valid.
Tourism also caters to a host of other allied activities like handloom, handicraft, transport, hospitality and hotels. With a host of other central sector schemes being unveiled in Jammu and Kashmir, it is expected that the tourism sector will get an unprecedented push. Reporting from Srinagar with camera person Junaid Iqbal Khan, I'm Kriti Mishra for Rajya Sabha Television.
And with that, we wrap up this edition of News Tonight. Thanks for watching. Good night.
Thank you.